the links and you will have clicked the links. So, Super Mario Brothers star, that should really be in quotations, John Leguizamo, is disappointed that the new Mario Brothers movie went all white. Except it didn't, and I mean, now that you're thinking about it, it's a movie about a bunch of Italians. Though oddly enough, in the cartoon, they're blue-eyed Italians, which is probably pretty rare. He's a strange person. Let's take a look at him. Bogota, Colombia, huh? That works out very well. Some people look like they have a daily relationship with pharmaceuticals. You look at crazy people, then you look at their partner, and you realize that they're also crazy because they'd have to be to put up with someone as crazy as him. He's a Catholic and she's Jewish, so they had a Catholic-Jewish wedding. How does that work? I don't know. Okay, so this guy wants so badly to be a POC, it kills him that he's so light-skinned. Hashtag mixed race problems. The struggle is real. Mostly what this article made everyone realize is that he's not dead yet of a cocaine overdose. Even Hollywood people look at him and realize that he might be a bit too crazy to play around with. But he wants everyone to know that he's LatinX. Then he got roasted on Twitter for essentially being a language colonizer, by changing a language because some commies invented a new word literally 15 years ago, which really is a colonization of language, which basically makes them Hitler. So I spent 10 minutes reading about some American soy boy who doesn't speak Spanish, I guess technically Spanish, Portuguese, the Italian languages, or French, tell Spanish people that because non-binary, the few non-binary people out there, and then someone pointed out that that's sort of a contradiction because you're saying you've got two groups, binary and non-binary. So binary, really, you've got male and female. That's pretty much all there is to it. Anyway, but they're saying so this 1% of the population, keep in mind this is an American who doesn't speak Spanish, is telling all these Spanish speakers about the necessity to include non-binaries into Latinx. This 1% of the population, or realistically probably less, but hey, it can be whatever you want because, I'm non-binary now. Okay. Do you get like a card for that? A tattoo on your arm or something? What does it mean? I'm binary again. It doesn't mean anything. It means pay me attention. Please, I'm not getting enough attention. I'm a fat high school kid who needs some more attention. So now I'm queer non-binary. You just go exercise. That 1% of the population needs to be included. So the language needs to change to accommodate this group of whining pussies, which I think is a fair thing to call them, who need attention. So the Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French say that you can cope, seethe, dilate, and just go suck a bag of dicks. Every day this clown world gets faker and gayer. John, not enough cocaine on earth, Leguizamo, is whining about a cartoon with a bunch of blue-eyed Italians in it, there was, a few hundred years ago, more than a few hundred years ago, a group of, Norsemen who came down to fight off the colonizing Muslim raiders, and they settled in Italy under colonization, and then eventually they stayed there. I think they made cheese in Italy, so there's you've got this mix of blonde-haired, blue-eyed, red-haired, green-eyed people throughout Italy, which came from a few hundred years ago. So that's kind of weird enough. Because it's rare. But then the non-European actors in the show are too white. The non-European actors are too white. Yes, you heard me correctly. That's just cocaine talking. Seth Rogen is the name that caught my attention. I'm familiar with him as being just a disgusting, vile worm of a person. You go back and look at the movies he's been in, and you watch those movies, you're like, oh, I don't like this guy. He feels dirty and grimy, and I can kind of feel that coming across the screen. Anyway, so how are these non-European actors too white? That doesn't make any sense. But, this is the new white face of white supremacy. Hashtag they really are cool. I don't know if they're supreme, but they're certainly cool. Oh, so Bob Hoskins called Super Mario Brothers the worst thing he ever did. It was a fucking nightmare. Whole experience was a nightmare. Had husband and wife team directing whose arrogance has been mistaken for talent. After so many weeks, their own agent told them to get the fuck off the set. Just a nightmare. Dennis Hopper Could talk about another cocaine cowboy who played King. Was also not a fan of the video game movie. It was a husband and wife directing team who were both control freaks and wouldn't talk before they made decisions. I was supposed to get down there for 5 weeks. I was there for 17. It was so over budget. So John Leguizamo, who has been the one cast member, like they said, he didn't defend the movie exactly, but he was the least vocal about his dislike for the movie. He's always been bit parts, always kind of plays the same drugged out scumbag. So he did this. So glad Super Mario Bros. Is getting a reboot. Obviously, it's iconic enough, but too bad they went all white. No LatinX. It's a bunch of Italians, you fucking developmentally disabled person. So unless, you're like Latin, technically, I guess would be Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, but I think you're referring to Latin American, the New World. So a movie about a bunch of Italians, why would you have, you're essentially talking about, I guess, Spanish or Portuguese from the New World, or if you want to include Brazil. Why would, the movie's about a bunch of New York Italian plumbers or something. Pay me attention, that's all it is. And then he gets roasted because he's got, I don't know his pronouns, and he calls himself Latinx because he's Latinx. Latino is in itself inclusive. You don't need to go that one step further. So this is the 1993 movie, which oddly enough, I didn't see, and I don't think I really want to go back and try to rewatch it. A bunch of Italian plumbers. So Chris Pratt, that's probably, I'm thinking like Pratt and Whitney Engines. That's probably an English name. Chris Pratt's probably English. Charlie Day is English, Welsh. And then Anne Taylor-Joy is, I think she's actually Spanish, like European Spanish. And, again, all these actors are playing Italian characters. So, like, why wouldn't you just get Italians to play Italian characters? Seth Rogen from the Middle East, of course. And Keegan-Michael Key, I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know these other guys, but I think some of these guys are black or something else. So shouldn't the real issue be that they're not Italian? Apparently that's not the real issue. So it's going to be an abortion. Written by Matthew Fogel. Lego Movie 2, second part, Minions. I never saw these movies. I'm sure it's going to bore. Produced by a bunch of idiots. Mario and Luigi are the two most beloved heroes in all pop culture, and we're honored. You got to be that. It was that 93 when the movie came out. So I don't know when the video games, that was like what, the Nintendo. So it was like in the 80s. You had to be the right age range. So nowadays, well, the thing is, video games stayed popular, didn't they? So it's probably more like anyone under 50, 45. I don't know. Is familiar with the characters, probably. I don't know. This is so ridiculous. It's just a bunch of ridiculous people acting ridiculous because, there's a fair amount of people in the Mediterranean region who look pretty much like you. So he doesn't know what he is, and he's just pissed, and he wants attention because I don't know if he's been in anything lately. He's a very confused person, and I'm sure he's doing a lot of pharmaceutical enhancement. If you can make a tweet like that and not realize, like, how does that make sense? The thing with Hollywood is into this bizarre echo chamber where nobody ever just slaps them and says, think about what you're saying first. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next episode.